The Dark Side of the Moon, the 1973 album by Pink Floyd, made the phrase famous. Conspiracy theorists claim that the evils that exist there are the reason the lunar program was shut down. But the truth is, the idea of the dark side of the moon is the result of a commonly misunderstood aspect of space science known as synchronous orbit. Earth's moon rotates on its axis once every 27 days. It also revolves around the Earth once every 27 days. As a result, only one side of the moon ever faces the Earth. The side facing away from the Earth is sometimes referred to as the dark side of the moon, but it is more appropriately referred to as the far side of the moon. The first images ever captured were by the Soviet Luna 3 space probe in October 1959. More recent photos show the far side of the moon has a very different surface geology than the side we're familiar with because of its exposure to deep space. The idea of synchronous orbit is a difficult one to understand for both adults and children. In the summer of 2001, I was part of a group of educators from across the country who attended a 2-week NASA educational workshop at Glenn Research Center in Cleveland. One of the lectures we attended was given by an expert astronomer on the topic of the lunar system. This presentation, with its fixed body of knowledge, focus on acquisition of facts and learners as passive receptors of information, was definitely rooted in the traditions of behaviorism. As in any lecture, some of us were able to understand and assimilate the information as given, but many of us were not. Some of the educators left the lecture feeling frustrated and unable to understand the mechanics of synchronous orbit. Group discussion continued on the bus after the lecture, with those who understood continuing to try to explain to those who did not. The problem was that they were still using the same means of engagement, oral transmission of ideas. The twist came when we arrived at the hotel. Our group got off the bus and everyone started to create physical models of the Earth-Moon system using our bodies to represent the celestial objects. We were now learning through the social constructivist model, with all of us contributing and constructing our knowledge together. Each of us was thinking, explaining, interpreting, and questioning as needed. Our joint experience had turned us into a community of practice. For this group of learners, the twist of the implementation of a new means of engagement with the topic made the learning experience more dynamic and increased understanding. Our socially constructive active learning experience led to a deeper understanding of the concept of synchronous orbit and allowed us to go back to our students better able to help them understand as well.